Okay. So guys, I have a real treat for you. So Brittany Welk, I met Brittany last Thursday and Friday. We were both at the GSD Con event in Arizona over in Phoenix. And GSD is a event that Mike Arcee puts on. He's an internet marketer, but he works with trainers and gym owners just like me. And Brittany was actually one of the speakers on day one. And she dropped a lot of game. She dropped a lot of knowledge on sales, okay? But you know me, I come from GC's office. So when I heard her spitting, I was like, okay, she actually does know sales at a very, very high level. So I sent her a DM and I asked her for a favor. I'm like, hey, listen, I really like your sales ability. I like what you're saying. You're obviously incredibly trained. Would you be open to speak to some of my people? She's like, Mike, whatever I can do to help out, inspire, influence, you know, I'm totally game. Can you guys hear me okay? You guys can hear me? Okay. Brittany, you still there? Oh, okay. We lost Brittany, so I'll keep introducing her. So I asked her to, you know, drop some knowledge and some gems on you guys. And she's like, whatever I can do to help, I'm there. So she's going to jump on right now. She's going to blaze you guys, like sales stuff. Okay. Brittany is the CEO and co-founder of a fitness studio. It's an all-women fitness studio, and they're just out of Chicago. Okay. And the name of the company is called Lady Strong Fitness. She works with all women. And in her first year, she made $600 million in revenue. And today she's in year 3. Okay. So you could imagine like what she's doing right now. So she's back on. Brittany, can you hear me?
I lost my Wi-Fi for just a second. What a time to do that. Sorry about that.
I gave like literally the most amazing. You guys like nod your head if I did. I gave like literally the most amazing. Look at Cody. Most
Dang it!
Introduction, but I'm recording it. I'm recording it.
It's recorded. Okay, cool.
So basically, I told him, you know, we met last week at the event, and I told him that you like fucking blazed.
Oh, thanks.
You know, the room on sales, and I told him about your first year did you did 600,000 is what it was in your first year. Now you're in year number 3.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then they know that you are the co-founder and COO of Lady Strong, which is, you know, a studio geared towards women.
Yes.
And you're out of Chicago, or right outside. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're right outside of Chicago.
Okay, cool. So Brittany, these are all my people that we work with. They've either worked with us, we do agency services, some coaching. Some of these guys have bought some of our products. They're all good people.
Okay, so, cool.
You know, I want to kind of turn over the floor to you. The stuff that you showed at GSD was gold, but it's yours. Guys, if you have any questions, just like, you know, raise your hand, and I'm sure Brittany's going to answer any questions. But sister, the floor is yours.
Sounds good. Okay. Well, hello, everybody. Like Mike said, I'm Brittany, and it's a pleasure to be on this with you guys today. Like Mike said, I'm a gym owner just like you guys are. I am no different. I'm in the trenches every single day. I actually have to go coach classes tonight. So I still do things inside of my business, but I also take time to work on my business as well. And I think it's really important to be able to do both. So I'm actually going to go through the same similar information that I went through at GSDCon, because I feel like this is the stuff that isn't the pretty stuff and it isn't the fun stuff, but it's the stuff that actually ends up making you money in the long run. So it's the stuff that ends up being the most important. So at GSDCon, I talked about booking, getting your leads to book, getting your leads to show, and also getting your leads to close in sales as well. So I'm going to go through kind of those 3 steps and how I work them at our studio, and how I think this is kind of a blanket, I guess a blanket thing that everybody can kind of do no matter what industry that you're in. You should still be nurturing your leads the same way no matter what. So we're going to talk first about booking leads. So when you're booking leads, I always tell people the money is in the follow-up. That's the most important. You have to understand that the faster that you can get to the leads and the prospects that you're getting, whether it's via the internet, via the phone, via email, wherever you're getting referrals, wherever you're getting leads, the faster you can contact them, the better. Mike actually gave us a book. Mike Arcee gave us a book this weekend. It was called Fitness Selling Secrets. And in the book, he talked about how you should be getting to your leads within like the first 5 minutes of getting a lead. And the industry average is 44 hours, which is crazy to me because I could never imagine taking 44 hours to actually get to a prospect that I got, whether it was through my email, whether it was through a campaign that I'm running on Facebook or Instagram or wherever it's coming from. So the money is in the follow-up, guys. When you're following up, I don't know how most of you guys do your follow-up, whether it's texting or calling. For us, we have an automated text campaign through Scipio that we use. So as soon as we get a lead in, typically it's through Instagram or through Facebook, the second that we get that lead in and they go through the campaign, they get an automatic text in Scipio that asks them to book a class. So it's literally instantaneous. It's as soon as they fill it out, they get the text. And then typically either my staff or myself are checking those text messages throughout the day to make sure that we're following up with those people. Because if that person texts you back right away and they're like, hey, I want evening classes, you don't want them to wait another 6 hours before you actually book them. So you want to make sure you're staying on top of whatever platform you're using, whether it's texting, whether it's calling, whatever it may be. Sometimes if you're not they're not texting you right away, we call. So for me, in the first 2 weeks of getting a lead, so if I get somebody's name, email, and phone number, in that first 2 weeks, I'm touching them twice a day. Typically it's text and call. So if I have somebody there in the morning that's texting people, then the evening front desk person will be making calls. So they're getting it twice a day. And for me, I feel like it's never too much because they gave you their information. So they know you're going to call them. They know you're going to text them. They know you're going to try to get a hold of them. So it's not new to them. So don't ever, I think something I struggled with right away was feeling bad for contacting somebody too often. And you can't feel bad for contacting somebody who asked you to contact them. And that's something that I learned along the way, is to not feel bad, because at the end of the day, they clearly need something that you have to offer. So you want to make sure that you get in contact with them as often as you can so that you can give them what they need. Okay. So you text, call after the first 14 days, typically, I do once a day or once a week. So something I want to share with you, and this just recently happened. So yesterday, I did my weekly follow-up texting with there's probably like 50 people that have been past the 2 weeks. They were back in April that I got their name and information. And I booked 3 of them yesterday. And I haven't heard from them since I got their lead information at the beginning of April. So you can't let those people go. You still have to contact them until they say they're not interested. When they say they're not interested, then you can put them on the lost list, put them on an email drip campaign, and just kind of make touch points there, but keep contacting them until they tell you to stop. Billie Jean has a methodology of buy or die. So you either buy from me or you're going to die. Obviously you hope they buy from you first, but that's the mentality of that, is to just keep contacting them as much as you can, until they either tell you they're not interested or they book a class or they book an appointment with you. So that's the first thing I kind of talked about. And the other thing is, booking, you should always have a script. You should always have some kind of scripts that your entire staff uses when you're booking these prospects for an appointment, for a class, whatever your business model is. There should always be a script that you're using when you're calling and when you're texting. You don't want your staff using a million different things or kind of using their own things, because you want continuity and consistency in your follow-up process. That way, when you're hiring new staff, there's always a process in place that every single person can follow. So if Sally is following up with people in the morning, Susie at night is doing the same exact protocol on the phone. Okay. So you should always have a script. One thing that we do when we are booking leads in is, and something that I see a lot of people not doing, is confirming appointments. So you can't just leave these people to chance and hope that they'll show up after they book a class or they book an appointment with you. 9 times out of 10, in the moment when they booked that appointment or that class with you, they were feeling some kind of scarcity. They were feeling some kind of pain. So they acted out of a pain. Well, if their class or their appointment isn't for another, say, like week, they have a whole week to think about a million different reasons why they don't want to come in and see you. Okay. So don't just hope that they show up. Send them a confirmation, whether it's an email, a phone call, or a text, at least 24 hours prior to their appointment. This is something that we do actively, and we always confirm with them the day prior or the morning of. So for example, if I have people coming in for a morning class, so say it's Monday, and I know Monday night, and I know I have people coming in on Tuesday morning for classes. On Monday night, I will confirm with the Tuesday morning people. Hey, just want to send you a friendly reminder of your class with us tomorrow morning, blah, blah, blah. Can't wait to see you. Okay, that's just a reminder. And then let's say Tuesday morning, on Tuesday morning, I will confirm with the people on Tuesday night. So like today, I spent the morning confirming with all the people that are showing up tonight for class. Whether they've been in class 3 times with me or this is their first class, it doesn't matter. They still get a confirmation. They still get treated the same as if it was their first class of their trial period with me. So I don't ever treat anybody differently wherever they're at in the process. They always get the same touch points as somebody new would. Another thing that we have at our studio, and this might be something you guys have in whatever business model you have, if you have some kind of paperwork or waiver or something like that that needs to be filled out prior to the time of them coming in, whether that's a questionnaire or whatever you guys have, if there's something, you should have something. You should have something to collect more information from them. Some kind of a questionnaire. We have a waiver form. It kind of gives us an opportunity to see if there's any limitations that they have, where they've been to a gym before, if they have any experience in the gym. So you should be collecting some kind of data, a little bit more information from them before they come in. So we send a waiver. We do it before they actually come in. I don't want them messing around on the iPad or on the computer or filling out a paper form when they're coming into the studio. And the reason why is because when they come in, they're already nervous. They're already scared. It's a new environment. It's a new thing. This was really hard for them to come in and do anyways. And the last thing they feel like doing is filling out some stupid waiver form while they're already kind of freaking out and everything. So there's people coming in and out of the gym. There's a class going on. It's loud. There's music. It's just a lot of things for them to take in at one time. So I like to have the waiver form done beforehand so that when they come in, all I have to worry about is making them feel as comfortable as possible. Giving them a tour, introducing myself, showing them where the lockers are, showing them where the bathroom is, letting them look in the studio, introducing them to their coach. I really want them to feel as comfortable as possible when they come into the gym, and I don't want them to have to worry about anything else. So that's kind of something I would recommend for you guys. We have an electronic waiver. We use Waiver King. It's an electronic waiver, so actually we just send them the link to the waiver via text, and they can fill it out right from their phone, and then they don't have to worry about doing it when they come in. Just makes it easier, not only for them, but for your staff, right? Because if you've got people showing up 2 minutes before class starts, and you're trying to show them where the lockers are, show them where the bathroom is, get them into class, it's just a big rush. Now they got to fill out the waiver form. It just kind of ruins the whole momentum when they come in. So having that done beforehand really helps. Again, confirming with them 24 hours prior to class. One thing that I do notice is if you're confirming with somebody and they message you back and they say, oh, I can't make it, I'll let you know when I can reschedule. Don't just leave it at that. Be like, okay, please, get back to us when you're ready. No, tentatively set something up for them. Tentatively confirm something with them. That way you can get them on the books. Don't just let them not reschedule with you. Let them know, hey, you know what? Let's just get you on the books for something tentative. If you have to change it again, don't even worry about it. But at least we know we have you rescheduled for X, Y, and Z, right? They're trying, it's a cop-out. For them, it's a cop-out. They're scared. It's not that they have to reschedule. Sometimes things do come up, but 9 times out of 10, they're just scared to come in. So they're just not going to want to reschedule with you because that's just human nature. If they're scared, they just don't want to come in, so they're going to have an excuse of why they can't come in. So make them commit to another time, even if it is just a tentative time. Don't just let them say, I'll contact you, okay? That's one thing that right away I noticed that I was making the mistake of was letting them just kind of hope that they would reach back out to me. No, like if you need to reschedule, we're going to get you rescheduled. Even if you have to reschedule it 10 more times, I don't care. But at least I have the opportunity to see you on my schedule and keep contacting you. Make sense? Cool.
Always know your next step, 100%.
Yeah.
Always know the next step.
Yeah. I think anticipating like what that person is going to want to say or do or think is super helpful. We're all humans and we're all scared of new things. We're all scared to try new things. And you have to understand that these people are scared to come in and do things that are unknown to them. And so, especially in fitness, a lot of people are just nervous about that because maybe they haven't worked out in a while. Maybe this is a totally new workout for them. Maybe they're just scared of being judged. There's a lot of things that are going to be going through their heads, a lot of anxiety. So you want to really kind of be catering to that and compassionate to that as well. So that's that. I had a slide actually at the at GSDCon where I taken a screenshot of somebody that had said, thanks for the super prompt response. And I showed that because it lets you know that it is important in how fast you respond to these people and how quickly that you can get back to them. So the money is in the follow-up, guys. I'm telling you, that really truly is where it's at. So any questions on like booking strategies or how to book leads? Because I'm going to go into getting them to show. Any questions on like strategy about booking?
Questions, guys, questions.
Anything?
I got a question,
Yeah.
Brittany. So so you're scheduling an appointment. Like what do you do to send out a reminder? Is it like a Google Calendar invite? Is it Scipio?
So, yep. So we use, so our CRM for our studio is MindBody.
Yep.
So if they're booked in a class in MindBody, I can see their name there. And then I use Scipio for all of my follow-up. So I used to use ZipWhip, but Scipio is really, really, really user-friendly. You can actually create drip campaigns on Scipio. You can schedule text messages, which I really like. I really like being able to schedule text messages. For example, if you have a lead that's like, you know what, I'm out of the country for the next 2 weeks. Can you follow up with me in a couple weeks? I can schedule a text message in there to actually follow up with her in 2 weeks. That will just go automatically. That way I don't have to remember to go back and text her in 2 weeks, right? So I like that feature. You can actually drop voicemails into people's phones, which I do all the time. Because 9 times out of 10, people don't answer phone numbers they don't know, but they will listen to voicemails. So that you can like drop pre-recorded voicemails into their mailbox, which is really cool too. So Scipio is it's a really cool tool. There's a lot of really great features. I think it's like
Scipio does you can drop the voice message.
Yeah.
You know that? Okay, really cool.
Yeah, it's really
What's
cool.
up, Howard?
Did you say, Brittany, that you had when they opt in, they send them a text message right from Scipio? You have that set automatic?
Yes, you can set that up automatically inside of Scipio. So as soon as there's like an integration that happens with whatever, if you're using like lead pages or ClickFunnels, there's an integration that happens there that as soon as you get a lead form that's filled out, all of their contact information will funnel into Scipio, and then it will funnel them into like a campaign, like a texting campaign, and it will automatically send them a text message.
Brittany, I think that method has a different effect as well. Not only is a follow-up immediately, it's like, holy shit, these guys are doing something that no one else is doing. It freaks them out in a good way.
It's kind of like
Who's the robot voice? Is that me? Okay. Tor, do you have a question, bro, before we move on?
No, she answered the question because right now I manually text every lead that comes in through Hangouts. So then she said, because she said the ClickFunnels, I'll be able to integrate with Scipio. That's what I would use because I used to call first, but I got more success from the text message first. And then I kind of can gauge how serious they are. Then I would call. So if I could use ClickFunnels, that'd be better because then I don't have to get the email and say, oh, copy paste the number and then copy paste my message from my notes.
Yeah.
That's what I normally do. But if it be automatic, that's gonna be great.
That I used to do the same thing. Before I had Scipio, I used to do the same thing. I actually used to have like on your iPhone, you can create like shortcuts, like word shortcuts in your keyboard where you would just, if you just typed in trial, it would bring up like a whole script. I used to do it that way. Now, like the Scipio thing it's just so nice. Cause then if it's 8 o'clock and you're out with your family and you get a lead on your phone, you're not like, holy crap, I got to stop what I'm doing with my family. You just automatically know they're going to get a text message that's sent automatically, which just takes a lot of stress off of you and a lot of extra time from just like automatic or like having to manually text people.
And to give you guys some context, Scipio is it's an SMS management platform. Looks like an email, super user-friendly. It's really known in the fitness space.
Yeah.
So go check it out. Go get it.
On that intro, like you've been doing this a while. What have you found to be like the best? Like you let them know that you're going to be in touch with them soon or something more specific, or what have you found to work best on that intro?
When they get the initial text?
Yeah.
Okay. So when they get the initial text, it's actually, I say, actually, let me show you. I'll actually pull up I think I can, Mike, can I share my screen with you guys?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to pull up my Scipio here for you guys so you can actually see how this all works. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Share. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
That's Scipio. There it is.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Scipio. So so I can see that I have 4 messages here from people. So these are all leads. So I can actually go back and I think, okay, so I think Diana Lee was one of my girls that I just scheduled today, but I can go back. So right here. So you see right here how it says Diana Lee was added to the drip campaign. So to the lead auto text. So this is the text message right here that automatically gets sent to her. So this is the script that I use. And this is automatically done in the campaigns platform in Scipio. So then this is how I dropped a voicemail to her too, and that was on the 20th of last week.
Question.
Let's see.
Brittany, question.
Yeah.
So that she came in, and then 2 minutes later, the Scipio went out. Was that with intent? 2 minutes later?
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like it's you, a human being,
Yes.
not an automated robot.
Not an automatic. Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
So like this Sayara Asan, you can see how many times I've tried to message her. I've messaged her like a gazillion times, and I finally got her to book a class. And this was all the way back in April. So I don't let up on these people. I just don't, because I know that they want to come in. So it's one of those things where you just have to kind of stay on top of people. And that kind of, I'll leave this up because I'm going to bring it back in just a second and show you something else. But that's, I mean, the book, that Scipio is just something that I think is almost invaluable. You know, it's an investment. I think it's like $199 a month. Yep. But think about all the time and energy that you spend just texting people, and what other profit producing activities you could be doing other than spending hours and hours and hours of your day just texting people. Does that make sense? Yeah.
100%.
Any other questions on the booking? I want to move to the getting your leads to show if I have no other questions on booking.
Just really quick, can you recap the number of times that you, like the 14 days and you contact them twice a day, like whatever those numbers are, if you just recap them real quick?
Yeah, so within the first 14 days, I'm contacting them twice a day. So I'm calling them in the morning or texting them, and then whatever didn't get done in the morning gets done at night. So let's say they text in the morning, then they get a call at night. If they call in the morning, they get a text at night. The other thing is that I think this was a statistic that was shown at GSDCon, is that I want like 86% of leads of sales happen on the 5th to 12th contact.
Yep.
86%.
One thing that Mike didn't mention.
The 5th and the 12th.
One thing Mike didn't mention is that over 90% of people in sales don't contact after attempt number 1. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I mean, if you're not calling 5 to 12 times, you're not even playing the game.
Yeah, you have, and I know, I think the mentality is that you're annoying people, or that they're getting, and I'll even say, like, sometimes when I text people, I'll be like, you know, I'm really not trying to be a pain, but, you know, you requested this and I really want to get you in. And then you'll find out that a lot of people will be like, well, you're not being a pain. I've just been really busy and blah, blah, blah. So if you kind of like throw that out there for them, like, I'm not trying to be a bother to you, but I know you really want to come in. So don't, the only thing I tell you to stop, to not do is to stop before they tell you to stop. Let them tell you to stop. Don't just assume they want you to stop.
Brittany, you know, one thing I found is that people that are super persistent, that call like 5, 12 times, mm-hmm. It's not like, I've got your phone calls, I got your texts, I will mm-hmm. call you. It's not that. It's usually like, oh my gosh, I've been super busy. Yeah. Yes, I'm glad you called right now. Hey, mm-hmm. okay, let's talk. It's usually that, you know. Yep.
And you will get those few people that are like, stop calling me. But it's like, okay, fine. Then you just stop calling them and you move on. It is what it is. You know? Mike had asked me on stage at GSDCon about the one thing I hated in sales when I first started, and it was making phone calls. I hated it. I'm really a passive-aggressive person by nature, so I don't like being told no. I don't like confrontation. I would just rather avoid it altogether. So the only way to avoid it is to just not make phone calls. So I hated making phone calls. And then there was one day where he made me sit on the phone with him for 2 hours and role play making phone calls until I started to like it. So you just have to understand that there are going to be people who hang up on you. There are going to be people who tell you to stop calling, and it is what it is. And you just move on from it and take them off your list, and you go on to the next person who wants your time, essentially. So cool. All right, let's move on to getting leads to show. So the one thing that I've noticed that's a big game changer is that confirmation. I know I talked about in the booking process, but getting people to show, that confirmation call or text is so important, because now you set an expectation that you are expecting them to show up. And naturally, people don't want to disappoint people they don't know, right? So they don't want to not show up because they don't want to look like the asshole in front of you, because now you know they're supposed to be there. So you calling them and texting them and just letting them know, hey, got you on the books for class tonight, or got you on the books for an appointment with me tonight. Please make sure, you know, you come 5 minutes early. Can't wait to meet you, et cetera, et cetera. Setting that expectation of them knowing that you want them there, or you believe that they're going to be there, kind of just edges them in a little bit more. So don't just leave it up to chance that they're just going to show up. Make sure you're actually reaching out to them prior to their appointment so that they know, okay, yep, Brittany's waiting for me, or Mike's waiting for me, so I need to be there. Or they'll message you and say, hey, I can't make it. Then you can reschedule them at that time. Give them a lot of detail, or as much as you can, over the phone or via text. People don't like surprises. People like to know what they're supposed to bring when they come to the appointment. People like to know what to expect when they come in. People don't like to show up and not know what's going on. The fear of the unknown is really real for people who are in such a vulnerable state, especially in fitness. Coming in the door is the hardest part for people to do when it comes to, and asking for help is some of the hardest things that people who are wanting to lose weight have to do. So don't leave anything up to chance. Let them know, hey, bring a bottle of water. We've got towels here for you to use. We've got a locker. Just bring a bottle of water, a separate pair of shoes to wear into the studio, and a big smile and a great attitude, and we'll see you soon, right? Just something to kind of make it lighthearted, to kind of let them know, like, hey, okay, this person just genuinely care about me and they are excited to meet me. Kind of just helps kind of ease that pain a little bit. So make sure you're giving details. Don't leave anything up to surprise. Again, get the paperwork done beforehand if you can, and just get them excited to come in. I like to share who their coach is going to be. So when I do a confirmation, I'll say, hey, this is Brittany from Lady Strong Fitness. Just wanted to send a friendly reminder to you of your class tonight at 5 o'clock with Coach Tiffany. So I'll kind of let them know this is your coach. This is going to be her name. Just give them as much information to make them feel as comfortable as possible. That way, again, there's just no surprises. They know who they can expect to see when they get there. If it's not you, let them know who they're going to see. Right? So when they come in, they can ask for that person, that they're not just wandering around going, okay, I don't know where I'm at, what I'm doing. Again, as much information as you can give them as possible. And then make sure you're using, again, with scripts, make sure your staff or whoever is doing your appointment confirmations is using identical scripts. Make sure it's similar scripts. That way, not one person is totally going rogue than the other person, okay? You want that same hamburger served throughout the whole entire day. Just different staff members are going to give you different sauces. Okay. Okay. Any questions on getting leads to show?
That's a big one, guys. Questions?
It is a big one. I know that this is a huge one, because booking them, if you can get them booked, that's half the battle. But getting them to show is like a huge thing.
Brittany, do you for show rate, do you track of total leads or of people that you've actually spoken to?
Booked. I always do booked. I always do, my show comes from the people that I book.
Gotcha.
So I'll do my total leads, and then I'll do my book rate off of my total leads. I'll do my show rate off of my booked. I'll do my close rate off of my show.
Okay. How much attention do you have on getting them in ASAP as opposed to like, I'll come in 2 weeks? I
want them as soon as possible, unless they tell me they're like out of town or it's not going to work this week or whatever the case may be. I always say if I get a lead on Monday, I want them in on Monday night or Tuesday.
Gotcha. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. Really
I have
cool.
a question.
Yeah.
As far as, when you're trying to get your leads to come in, this is Caleb Whitemore speaking, by the way.
Hi, Caleb.
As far as when you're trying to get your leads to come in, what are your objections? If they say that they can't make it this week for whatever reason, do you have a way to object to that?
I'll just let them know, hey, okay, that's not a problem. What about next week? I never leave it with a close-ended conversation. Don't ever let them just say, oh, I can't make it in. I'll get back to you. Reschedule them. Next week, okay, next week doesn't work. How about the first week in June?
Is there a way though, however, like, is there an objection to where, because like you said, people are scared to come into the gym. They don't know what to expect. And, calling a lead is, basically the main job, and it's of, most of importance. So is there a way to get them in earlier with that objection? Is there a way to is there a way to say, well, you know what, actually that will not work? Is there any way, because I don't know, maybe you can make it feel more important to them? You know,
you can create scarcity. Yeah, you can create scarcity with them and just let them know your spots are filling up fast. And the sooner that they get in, the better. You know, you can let them, and sometimes I will do that. I'll let them know, hey, spots are filling up really fast for our classes right now, and I don't want you to miss out. So is there any way that you can come in, you know, any sooner? Creating scarcity with people is a good way to get them to book a little bit sooner, because it's kind of a FOMO thing. They don't want to miss out. So if you can create that scarcity and let them know that, you know, you only have 2, and you maybe have 10. But if you got, I only got 2 spots left for classes this week, and if you want to get in, or this week trial, or this appointment, or whatever this is, actually ends this week. So I need you to get in if you can this week as soon as possible. So
Caleb, there's a balance, man. There's a balance. So like me, I'm a straight up salesman. You know, like I wanna body people and transact deals. You know.
Okay.
But also too, you have to give people like what they want. For example, we have a guy. He's like, Mike, I love what you do. I've seen the results. I believe in, you know, everything that you're saying. I'm gonna end my contract right now and start June 1st. There would be no reason for me to like, man, just do it right now. Man, sign up right now today so we can get started. Like I will go in, but what's going to end up happening, I'm going to burn that line. So, you know, maybe they are going to a wedding this week, and timing is also everything. So
right.
You have to find that balance as well. If they're just pushing out for the sake of it, you have to be able to identify that and then bring them back. But if it's something that's legit, real, then you know, we want to honor that too.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, you definitely don't want to push them too hard to where it's uncomfortable, but you got to be stern.
I have another question. So as far as getting people to show up, how much is building, I call it affinity, or building that rapport or that connection? How important is that to get people to influence the show rate?
It depends. It depends on the conversation that I have with people. Some people are just like, yep, I'm really excited to come in. You have others that are like, I'm really nervous. I've never done this before. And they'll be super vulnerable with you and let you know that they are scared. And at that point in time, I'll let them know, you know what, we'll take good care of you. This is what we specialize in. We're here to help. Don't be nervous. Kind of just making them feel at ease if they are a little bit uncomfortable is a huge, huge, huge thing. Because if people, especially in the fitness industry, like I said before, people are just scared. Taking that first step into the door is one of the hardest things that anyone will ever do in their life, because they're asking for help. They're being vulnerable and they're asking you for help. So you have to understand that and be patient with people, because I've had people that will literally flat out say, I'm just not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Yeah. And you can't push those people into making a decision, but you can groom them into understanding that this is what you do. You specialize in helping people like them feel more comfortable. That's what your gym is all about. So be empathetic. Don't be pushy, but empathize with people. And that doesn't happen often. I don't get that a lot, but I do get some women who are like, I'm just really nervous. I don't know if I'm ready. And so I don't push them, but I do kind of a gentle nudge.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about setting the expectation for them to arrive and to follow up with the text message and the phone call, is that an automated process that can be done through Scipio?
You can automate things like that.
Natural feeling text, but go ahead. Yeah,
you can automate things like that. For me, okay, so I'm kind of old school because I feel like people like human interaction. So I actually had, when we were at GSDCon, Mike, I don't know if you saw their booth, Loyal Snap. So the lady emailed me and she's like, I'm just really surprised that you're still doing your like my Green Star process and my follow-up stuff manually. And I'm like, yeah, but I do that because people like to know that they're talking to another human being. They like to know that it's you on the other line and that you are actually giving them that kind of that personalized touch. I do schedule text messages in Scipio. So for example, if I know I'm going to be busy tomorrow and I've got to do follow-ups, I'll take like 10 minutes that night and just schedule all of the text messages so they go out automatically, so that I don't even have to worry about it. So you can schedule that stuff. You can automate it too in a campaign form in Scipio if you wanted to, but I feel like people know when things are automated. Like, you know when you get an automated message and when it's actually another human being on the other line. And, and you're in the relationship building business. in fitness. And so people want that connection. They want to know that it is you that is reaching out to them. So I'm kind of pulled in two different directions because automation is really great and it makes you efficient, but I'm also in the business of building relationships with people, and I want them to feel that. I don't want them to feel that I just think that they're another number. And I think that's can be attributed to a lot of our success is because we still give them that kind of that natural human connection, right? That's why Peloton will never take over the world. And that's why that stupid mirror thing will never take over the world, because humans will always want interaction with other humans. They will always want that connection. So automation is great if you need to, but you can schedule stuff inside of Scipio if you need to save some time.
And I was even referring to making it a natural response that you would give in a face-to-face, but just doing it so that it gets out when it needs to go versus trying to do it in the moment.
Yeah, you can definitely automate a lot of that stuff inside of Scipio. I don't know if the phone call automation, I don't know if
like
I've never.
Message, pretty much that voice message, an authentic message for them, but instead of doing at the moment of calling them, set it up 2 days before. So
yeah, you can definitely do that. You can do that inside of Scipio. Everything you can schedule inside of Scipio.
All right.
Yeah.
And my second thing was breaking that fear factor of the unknown when somebody comes into a new situation.
Mm-hmm.
Can you handle any of that in the marketing content prior to them arriving? Like any content that shows what a situation looks like for a newbie coming?
Yeah. So all of the videos that we do for our marketing, and Marcia she's my other half. She handles a lot of the marketing. We work with Rumor for marketing too, but we use a lot of like testimonial videos. We use a lot of like videos of specific members doing exercises in class. It's all real life stuff. A lot of times we do, we'll do like coaches, like a lot of our coaches have done testimonials before. So like we'll even do like a coach testimonial as an ad video. We try to do a lot of like the real life stuff in our advertising. You won't see. We used to do a lot of stuff where we were on camera and we were like, hey, come get a free week. Now all of our ads are all organic videos that did really well on our Facebook page. All the videos that organically did really good on our business Facebook page, we'll turn those into ads. So yeah, you have to be as genuine as possible in your advertising. You want to let them know what kind of experience they're going to get when they come in, and they want to see your face, right? They don't want to see other people's faces. They want to know who they're going to meet when they come in, so that they're not like, I don't even know who this person is, you know?
What kind of offer are you offering on these organic videos? Is it that free week?
Yeah. Yep. We always do free week. Everything's a free week for us. Honestly, we've been running this free week campaign since November, and it's been crushing it. We haven't stopped it. It's a nice, slow, steady trickle of leads for us that just helps us gain, 15 to 20 new members a month. And so it's been really good. And we've used all organic videos for that. Some of them are old, some of them are new. It just kind of depends.
Brittany, do you get a card on file when people start the free week?
Huh?
You get a card on file?
No. I am against, I am so against asking people for information like that. So I used to work at Orange Theory. And we did that when people would book sessions, we would have to get their credit card, because we would say, if you don't show up, then we're going to charge you. That for me puts a wall up. As a consumer, that puts a wall up for me right away. I feel like, why do you need my card information? I'm already nervous, and now you want my personal information, and now you're going to charge me if I don't show up. Like, now I've got this, I've already made a first impression of you and the kind of gym that you are, right? That's my personal opinion. Some people are different, and it is, if that's something that you practice, then that's fine. It's not something that we do. We never have in 3 years, and I don't plan on ever doing it, because I don't have a lot of trouble with people not showing up or rebooking if they don't.
When they actually do start the free trial, same thing, no card?
Nope. Not until they sign up for a membership.
Okay.
Nope.
Gotcha.
It's just a comfort thing. It's people, they're already scared. They're already nervous about coming in and like doing all this whole new fitness thing. And then you want their card. before they even like get a class in. It's just, for me, if it were me, it would feel strange, you know? So it's personal preference. Again, depends on your model. It depends on what you're trying to do. You know, I get why Orange Theory does it just because they have so many people coming in. They have so many people coming in to try classes. We don't have that problem. So I don't think it's necessary, but it could be for you.
What would be your process for, like, once they come in on the free week? Do you have like a sales process? You sign them up the first day, or like how do you follow up with them when they come in?
So let's go. Actually, I'll move into the last few slides that I had here because this is all about closing. So I will show you. So typically after their classes, after each class, I follow up with them. So I will message them and say, okay, for example, here, I'm going to share my screen again with you because this girl just messaged me back in Scipio. So I'm going to show you. Okay, so this is Morgan. So she came in for class last night, Monday, right? So here's a text message I sent her this morning. Good morning, Brianna. Brittany here from Lady Strong Fitness. Just checking to see how your class was yesterday with Coach Brianna. So then she's like, my body's sore, all this stuff. And then I'll message her back and like let her know. Here, let's see. Hold on. Let me make this smaller. So she said my body is sore. Do people usually do back-to-back or take a day in between? So I'm going to do this live with you guys right now. So I'm going to let her know. That's great to hear. Soreness is good. It depends on how you feel. But movement is actually good for sore muscles. What are your thoughts?
Prompt response.
Right. So this is part of why our close rate is so high right here. Because when you send a message to somebody who came for a class and they're like, wow, you actually care about how I feel? Really? And I do this after every class. After every class they take, I send them a message. Hey, how are you feeling? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm sore. Then you have an opportunity to also give them some tips. Make sure you're stretching, drinking lots of water. We can't wait to have you back for your next class. Just kind of nurturing them through the process, right? Typically on day 3 of their trial is when we see the most success in closing, but it's a personal preference. If you're trying to close people right away, on the first day, if you only have a 1-day trial and they come in and you close them and you're done, then that's great. For us, I try to build that relationship with them. I try to get them to feel as much a part of our community as possible before I ask for the sale. So I usually find the most success on the 3rd day of their trial, where I'll let them know, hey, after class, we're going to be sitting down. Let's go and review some membership information, and we can see what we can get you into. At that point in time, I've also already overcome a lot of objections at that time. I know the classes work in their schedule, so they can't tell me that it doesn't work in their schedule because they've been there 3 times, okay? I already know that their significant other clearly knows that they're coming to the gym because they've been there 3 nights in a week, and I don't think they just lied to their significant other and said, oh, I don't know where I'm going. They come home all sweaty. They know they're at a gym, right? So they know they're going to be spending money, okay? Another one is, I'll have to think about it. Okay, well, you've been here 3 times. I'm not really understanding what else you need to think about. Like, you've seen everything that we have to offer. So there should really be, you're overcoming a lot of objections by that 3rd class. So when you sit down with them, they know everything you have to offer. So there really is no question about whether they want to do it or not. Right. And also at that point in time, they're going to know that if they're getting a premium experience. So for us, we charge a premium price. We charge anywhere from $170 to $200 a month for classes, and that's for 12 sessions a month. So they already know, because of the way that our studio is and how we operate it, we are a premium studio. So they know they're not going to pay no $10 a month for a gym. Okay. So by the 3rd class, I know that they are fully aware that when we do towel service and we have lemon water at the desk and all these things, they know that it's not $10 a month. Okay. So 3rd day is typically when I see the most success. I think one thing that I talked a lot about at GSDCon was creating an experience for people. At the end of the day, you are not selling your workout. Okay. You have to, and I know that's hard, but you have to get that out of your head. It's not about how cool your workout is. It's not about how awesome you can do this or that. People don't give a crap about that, because I can do a squat at your studio just like I can do a squat at the studio down the street or the CrossFit gym across the street. I can do it all. I can do it anywhere, right? What you're creating is an experience. You're making them feel some kind of way when they are in your space, whether that's through your community, whether it's through your front desk staff, whether that's through your coaches. Every step they take throughout that process, they are feeling some kind of way. You're creating something inside of them that makes them say, I want to be a part of this. Okay, so you have to remember that you're creating an experience. You're not just selling a workout. Okay, so that's why it's so important that your staff is dressed appropriately, that your gym doesn't stink like a gym, that your front desk area is clean and tidy, that your bathrooms are clean and tidy, that your floor is clean, right? There are 3 different kinds. This isn't something that I shared at GSTCon, but I'm going to share it here with you guys. There are 3 different kinds of people that come into your gym. There's the people who come in just for the workouts because you got cool workouts and that's what they like. There are people who come in for the social aspect, right? They want to come and socialize. They want to find their new best friend. And then there are people who come in because of your cleanliness, your equipment is nice, because of those things, right? The training kind of aspect, right? You have to cater to all 3 of those people at all times, okay? Whether that's through different events that you do, whether that's through different aesthetics in your gym. So you always want to make sure that you've got good workouts, that you're clean and tidy, right? And that you've created a community and a culture in your gym that allows for new people to come in and feel right at home, okay? So if you can do that, if you can create that experience, your close rate will be much higher, okay? And if you can keep in your head that this isn't about how cool your workouts is and how cool your programming is, because at the end of the day, nobody cares. What they care about is what they're going to get. What's in it for me, okay? So creating the experience, making them feel a part of your community day one. So we created an ambassador program that we use in our studio. So I did talk about this a little bit at GSTCon, but so when a new prospect comes into class, we actually partner them up with a veteran member. So if I've got somebody like Sally, who's been there for 2 years with me, and I've got Janet coming in and it's her first class, I'll pair Janet and Sally together and I'll introduce them. Janet, this is Sally. Sally, this is Janet. Sally, this is Janet's first class. You remember what your first class was like? And they'll say, oh yeah, I remember. So now Janet has Sally to go through the entire next 60 minutes with her of class, and she doesn't have to feel alone. Because most of the time you'll notice that people like to bring friends when they come in for their workouts. They want to bring somebody else because they don't want to do this crap alone, right? Well, if they do come in alone, now they have somebody to go through the class with them. And if you've created that culture and that community in your studio, this should be no problem. People should be excited about wanting to help a new member. So creating that ambassador program or giving them a workout buddy when they come in is very, very helpful too, because now they have a friend. And who wants to leave a friend? Nobody wants to leave their new friends, right? Again, so just help solidify that close even more. And you choose your ambassadors, choose the people who are your ride or die, the people who would buy anything from you, who would do anything for you, who have been at your studio and have never faltered, not once, never thought about going somewhere else, because those are the people that will close those sales for you. They'll tell the new people their story. You know, when I started and now I'm here and, you know, this is so great, you should join. Like my 5 a.m. crew sells more memberships for me than I can't even tell you, because they bleed our culture and they bleed Lady Strong and they want more people to come in. Okay. So find those ambassadors in your group and stick your new members with them and let them just do the work. Another thing that I wanted to share is when you're sitting down with sales, I know a lot of people do this, and not a lot of people raise their hands at GSTCon, and I knew it was liars because I'm like, I used to do this all the time. When you sit down with prospects, don't just review goals, right? The typical thing that you do is sit down and you go, okay, what are your goals? Okay, well, we all want to lose weight, right? People are there because they want to lose weight. They want to tone up. They got a wedding coming up. They got a vacation coming up, right? You could list all of them on 2 hands, right, of why people want to come in your gym. You already know that. You don't need to know that. What you want to know is what kind of experience do they want from you? What do they really want? Okay, what do they really want? I ask people this all the time. What do you really want when you come here? Well, I'm just looking for a place that I feel comfortable and I get, you know, the accountability. I want people to make sure that I show up and, you know, the nutrition help is really nice and blah, blah, blah. Like they'll start really telling you what they really want, right? At the end of the day, we all know they want to lose weight and that's great. But the experience stuff helps me as a studio owner make my experience better. Because now I know what people want when they come in, and I can just add those things or make those things even better when I come in. I do review goals with people because at the end of the day, when you sit down with people, you are selling Fiji. You are not selling the plane ride to Fiji. You are selling Fiji. At the end of the day, these people want to know, what can you do for me? Can you get me the body that I want? I don't care about the seminars that you do and the towels that you have and this and that and the other thing. I don't care about your amenities. I want to know, what can you do for me? Okay. I will flat out tell people I can guarantee you results, because I can guarantee, because I've proven it time and time again. I can guarantee results. As long as you're willing to come in here and put in the work, I can help you get to where you want to go. That's a no-brainer. People want to know, can you guarantee them results? Yes, you can. If you've done it with members before, you can tell them that you can do it for them. That you're not lying. But they have to know that they have to be willing to put in the work. So don't just be that typical trainer that asks about goals, right? Ask them what they're looking for. Tell them that you can help them. That's all they want to know. They want to know that they can fit into that wedding dress, that they can fit into that bikini, that they can wear those jeans that they wore last summer but they don't fit anymore. They want to know that they can do that stuff and that you can help them get there. Okay? Another thing that I've seen a lot of people do, and I would encourage you guys to do this too, is take a look at your pricing. Don't undersell yourself. If you have a premium service, charge a premium price. Okay? If you have a premium service, charge a premium price. I know it's scary to ask people for that kind of money every single month. Trust me, it was for me. And when we wanted to raise our prices in January, which we did, it took us 2.5 years to raise our prices, but we finally did. When Marcia was like, "We need to raise our prices," I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm ready to do that." Even though it was only $10, like $169 a month, that's crazy. And that's only 12 sessions. Like, that's nuts. You have to be confident in your pricing, because people are like sharks and they sense fear. They smell blood. And if you are scared of your pricing, they will close off and be like, "Nope, I ain't buying this," because they're not even confident in what they're selling. So they want me to buy it. You have to be confident in what you're offering. If you know that your service is worth $200 a month, then charge $200 a month, and damn it, be confident in it. Don't pull back and be like, "Oh, I know this is really a lot." You can't think that about your services, because if you think that, then everybody else is going to think it too. Your staff has to be just as confident in your pricing as you are. You just have to have the confidence when you sit down with somebody, and you have to, don't be afraid to ask for the sale. That's something I'm actually working on a lot with my staff, is they'll get all the way to the end of the presentation and then they don't ask for the sale. You don't say, "Okay, which option works best for you?" They'll just say, "Okay, any questions?" Of course, they're not going to say anything. They're just going to be like, "Nope, I'm good. Okay, I'll think about it." No, you got to say, "Okay, these are your options. Which one looks best for you?" Make them make a choice, because they'll make a choice. They'll say, "Well, I think the 6 month." "Okay, yeah, 6 months sounds good. We can get you started today. How's that sound?" "Okay, great." You cannot leave it up to them. You have to ask. Don't be afraid to ask for the sale. That's one thing that I will tell you, is that you cannot leave it up to them, because if you just say, "Hey, got any questions?" "Nope." "Okay, cool." And they'll say, "Okay, I'm going to go home. I'm just going to think about it." No, they're not. They're going to go home and they're going to talk themselves out of it. You'll never see them again. That's how it works. Okay, so be confident. And then the last thing is, let's see. Oh, as soon as you ask for the sale and they make a choice, get up, get the paperwork, get them started, get them moving, and get them going. Right? Don't just be like, "Oh, are you sure? Like, are you sure you want to do that? Did you have any other questions?" No, like, if somebody says, "This is what I want," then get up and give it to them. Don't just sit there and let them talk themselves out of it, because it will happen. If you say, "Oh, that's so great. We're so excited to have you." Okay, you save the small talk for when they're giving you their credit card. Like, okay, save the small talk for when they're giving you the money. Let them give you the money, and then you can have the small talk, okay? Get up, get the paperwork, do whatever you need to do, get them started. They're ready to buy from you, so make it quick, right? Get them going, get them moving, get them up, get them to where they need to be, and you can talk them through the rest of the time after they've already paid you, okay? So that's closing. Now, I went through that really fast, because I know you guys, I don't know if you guys are leaving at 3:30, but do you guys have any questions about the closing, the sales process?
Yeah. Do you sign them up on a full price membership, or do you ever do LBOs after the free week?
We do everything is month to month. Like, we have contracts. So we have a 12, a 6-month contract, and then a 3-month. So, and then it's not paid in full. We do after the 7 days, they pay their first month, and then they pay monthly after that. If they want to pay in full, they can. We give them a 15% discount if they do pay in full for the 12 or the 6. But typically it's just monthly. We let them do biweekly payments if they need to, but it's just a monthly payment after that for 12 or 6 months.
Nice. So you don't offer, because I know some gym owners, they're afraid to ask for a membership, so they just charge like, okay, you can do our 21-day for like $67.
No, hell no.
Right?
No. They just did a low barrier offer. They just did a 7-day trial.
Exactly.
They don't get any more after that. No.
I have a question. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yeah.
So this is a question. I came a little bit late, so I'm trying to make it quick. If that's fine with you. It's from an agency perspective.
Okay.
When you guys as gym owners get the leads, I mean, obviously its first attempt is for you guys to call the lead, but on our end, from an agency owner, I have created a follow-up system with text messages to the lead. Now, is my goal to get the lead to call the business and schedule, or is it better for me to get the leads through a software scheduler, like a software scheduling system where they can just schedule a time for them to come in on those text messages, basically?
So for me, we're only open during class times. I'm not open like between certain hours. So I don't really want people calling and leaving messages because it's hard to call them back or like get them back on the phone. And then I wouldn't prefer them to schedule on their own. Honestly, I would rather me schedule them myself. That's why I like the Scipio texting campaign that La Rumor set up for us, because it allows me to have that conversation with that person in real time versus hoping that they schedule their first class or hoping that I can get them to call me back or I can call them, and then you're kind of playing phone tag. That's why I like texting. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you should still call. And we still make phone calls. But it is the freaking 21st century, the 20th century, or whatever century we're in. Like, we like to text. People don't like to get on the call.
Yeah.
Right? I would rather text somebody than call. Like my family, I very rarely talk to them on the phone. I'm texting them all the time because I would just rather text you than call you. Because I'm driving or I'm working or I'm doing live. People's lives are so busy right now that the last thing they want to do is get on the phone and talk to somebody.
Yeah.
So the texting works really well. I really, really, as a gym owner, I like the texting platform. I do.
So, okay, I see. So I guess for Mike, if you can hear me,
Yep.
So what would you recommend would be a good, I guess, follow-up series in terms of the connection between the lead and the text messages that you're sending, so those leads can actually come in and show up to the gym as from an agency perspective, right? So what do you think would be best if not telling the lead to call the business? Because as she said, sometimes she's busy and she don't want to be getting calls on the phone, or what's your recommendation on that?
Right. So if I want to do this for a client, for like a fitness studio.
Yeah.
So right now what we do, Brittany, is on our funnel, we have a 3-step funnel. On the final step, we prompt them to book themselves for the phone call, not for the consultation or not for the first meeting, or but we have them book the phone call. And the reason why we have them book the phone call is because we don't want to chase them around. Does it always happen? No, it doesn't always happen. But that's our process. We have them book.
Okay.
And then we call within 30 minutes. And then we take. Hey, Brittany, question. How many people on your team are doing sales besides you?
Me, 1, 2, 3. There's 4 of us.
Okay. And then how do you get them ramped up? Like if you bring on somebody, how do you onboard them, train them? What does that look like?
Okay, so here's a little secret about my staff. All of my staff were members before they were staff.
Very good.
So all of my staff members are already bought into my culture. They're already bought into everything that we stand for. They believe in the product. So it's super easy for them to sell because they are a product of the product.
Yeah.
So it's very easy for them to sell it. And I also have a really, really good relationship with my staff. When your staff believes in their leader and they believe that you have the best intentions for not only them and their future, but for the people that you're bringing in, they will move mountains for you. My staff knows that I will do anything for them and they will do anything for me. So I'm very blessed. I really am to have the culture that I have. But I know a lot of people do commission and a lot of people do bonuses and things like that. We actually Marcia actually had us create a Super Bowl goal this year. So if we hit 300 members by the end of the year, we're taking our entire staff on a vacation. Nice. So that's something that we're going to do for them because we are a small studio and we can't hand out $1,000 bonuses every month. Like we just don't have the capacity to do that. So we'll do like if they refer somebody, we give them the referral bonus that like a member would get. But they're just bought in. And when they're bought in, they'll do just about anything for you.
And then for like a day-to-day in a sales role, are they doing role playing? Are they reading scripts? Are they going into your Mike's program?
Yeah, this is crazy. I just got access to Mike's Learning Center. I went through it like a long time ago when they first did it. I hadn't been back through it. Yeah. I actually had them create a login for my studio manager. So she's going to be going through the Learning Center. I have the Sales Secrets book. I'm going to read it, and then I told them I'm going to pass it down to them, so they're going to read that. This sounds kind of crazy, but we have cameras in our studio, and I can hear and I can see them. So one night my studio manager was selling a membership, and I actually recorded the entire conversation, and he used it as a training tool. Yeah. And she said it was the best training tool that she's ever had since she started working, because I could help her kind of work through the conversation that she was having and the different points that she was touching on and the things that she was struggling with the most. So I try to do that. I don't like sitting there and listening to them talk. I would rather kind of be a fly on the wall and give a perspective from that way. So I use that a lot as training. I don't get the opportunity to do a lot of role play, but I was just reading last night in Mike's book, and it's something I want to do more often with them because I know it will help. So yeah. I try to do things with them as often as I can. We have weekly staff meetings as well. So I share things like that. I'll share podcasts that I listen to with them as well. So I try to give them little nuggets throughout the week that they can either listen to, watch, or read. That way they're kind of always a student of sales, kind of like myself. So
what about benchmarks? Is there a certain number of calls, appointments?
I just ask them to get through the lead sheet every day. I just ask them to get through the calls on the lead sheet. That's always their goal. Whatever. If it's 10 calls, then it's 10 calls. If it's 20 calls, then it's 20 calls. I just ask them to get through the lead sheet every single day, if and when they can. Obviously, like at night, it's really busy, so sometimes it gets hard. But they manage to do it every time. So I'm really lucky. I'm really lucky with the people that I have.
100%. Guys, questions before Brittany gets out of here? Questions, comments?
Hey, Brittany, I want to throw something out there. In the close, and it's for anybody. You're in the close, you've got a client, and the client lets you know, hey, I only get paid once a month. I receive disability. How would you handle that in the close? And if they could not pay anything to get started, but they're interested, they say they're committed, they want to do it. Right now, I can't until June 3rd. Go ahead.
For me, it depends on how far away you are from that date, right? So if it's like today and then they don't get paid till June 3rd, that's kind of a problem. For me, it sounds ruthless, but if people really want something, they will make it work. They will find a way to make it work. If they really, truly want what you have to offer, they will find a way. Even if it's a $25 deposit on their first month and then they pay the rest on June 3rd, like they will want to do something. I have done it where I'll have them fill out all of the agreement and then they do like a small deposit and then I let them know, okay, we're going to set your payment to be run, but I do it ACH. I don't take a card. I'll run it on an ACH basis because then I know that they can't close their card or something stupid like that. Like I can take the payment at that point in time, but I don't do that. Like maybe once in a blue moon. Because I am a firm believer that if they really want something from you, they will find a way to do it. But you also can't just go around letting people spend 2 weeks at your studio without paying, and then June 3rd comes around, and then they don't pay. You know what I'm saying? And there's a point where they have to understand that too, that you can't just let them continue to come for free for 2 weeks, and then they don't want to pay on the 3rd of June, you know? So I think you let them know, you know, and you can't be afraid to say no either. You know, you really can't. Because think about it this way. I think about it this way. Do I want new members? Yes. Do I want new clients? Yes. Do I want people who are going to be such a pain in my butt when it comes to payments that they're wanting to move their payment date every month, or they can't make their payment this month and that month, and they just become more of a headache than they do anything else? Not really. So sometimes I have to let some people go, and if they really want it, they'll come back. And if they don't want it, then they're not going to come back, and then that just leaves you more room to get somebody else. So as much as you want people and you just want them to sign up because you maybe are feeling scarcity with your membership or needing clients or needing money, you can't allow that to waver how you run your business, right? Because if you want to duplicate your process, or your staff sees that you're doing that, all of a sudden they're going to think it's okay, and then they're going to be handing out free shit, and then then it's a mess, right? So I know it's not the funnest answer, but sometimes you just have to be okay with letting people go and follow up. And then you can follow up with her. Hey, you know what? I'm really sorry. Maybe this isn't going to work out right now, but how about I follow up with you in a couple weeks and we'll see where you're at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah.
Hey, Mark Turner, do you have a question, brother?
Yeah, I'm about Chicago. I want to wear Chicago right now.
You sound like a robot.
Can you hear him, Mike? I can't really hear him.
Mark,
Can he email me?
Yeah, Brittany, as we wrap up, where does everybody find you? I know where to find you. What's your handle on IG?
So you can find me on Instagram at Britt Welk. So go ahead and follow me on there. I'm trying to share content more often every day. Also, if you guys, I will share my email with you guys. If you guys want to write this down, I'm always happy to help in any way that I possibly can. My email is Brittany, BRITTANY @ladystrongfitness.com. So go ahead and feel free to email me. I'm in the suburbs of Chicago. I'm in Schaumburg. My studio is in Schaumburg, Illinois. So if you're ever around in the Chicago area and you want to meet up, let me know. I'm always happy to help. I wish you guys all the success in the world. Studio business, gym business is not an easy business to be in. It's not. It's not for the faint of heart. We grind every day. We hustle every day, trying to just change lives. I want to share one piece of advice with you. Don't chase the money. Chase the cause. Right? If you always remember why you started your business or why you decided to go into the business that you went into, and you chase that, the money will come. It always does. Don't act out of scarcity. Don't make sales out of scarcity. Don't make decisions out of scarcity. Always think about your business first. Think about the cause first, and the money will always follow. So keep that in mind.
Guys, this is a studio owner, a very, very busy person that's super generous, not just with her time, but she's been doing this for years, and she's invested, I know for a fact, a lot of freaking money and time, and she's so generous, like, just to bless us with the information. You know, do me a favor, follow her on IG, drop her a comment, and give her, like, one of your takeaways. And this is a good person to know. There's people, like, asking right now, like, what part of Chicago, what part of Illinois are you at? So this is a really good person. Brittany, on behalf of the group, thank you very much. I will be in touch. We really appreciate it. You're freaking awesome. Guys, bring some love, y'all. Everybody.
Thank you, guys. It was such a pleasure meeting all of you guys. If you need anything, let me know. Have a blessed day. If you're in the Chicago area, come find me. Find me on Instagram, and we will chat again soon.
Thank you, Brittany.
All right, bye, guys.
Take care. See you at the top. Let's go.